Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted. What the fuck, man? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Topless Robot Podcast, episode 21. My name is Ryan.
I am Brooks.
I'm Tyler.
Dan.
Ooh,
and it's been a week since we have been in this room together. What has been going on?
Has it really been a whole week?
I know, right?
It feels like it hasn't been a whole week.
7 days.
Oh my god.
It feels like
7
I've been
days.
seeing Ryan like every day this week.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sorry.
I'm getting a little annoyed. It's one of those things where it's like, I like you, but I don't love you. So,
Well, I mean, folks, the real
Ouch.
question y'all need to ask yourselves here is, are y'all ready for some football?
Oh, no.
You ready for some football?
No!
So, things that we have uncovered since the last episode of the podcast, that Big Lebowski teaser was a teaser for a fucking Stella Artois commercial.
I called it.
Called
I
it
called
right
it
there.
so hard because guess what?
But what's
Every time a beloved property is involved in anything Super Bowl related, it's a shill. It's
Yeah.
always a shill.
But what was the fucking point of having a date on it? Because they ended up releasing the whole commercial online like last week.
Well, because people don't always follow up. And also, Jeff Bridges needed funding for another sleep tape.
Honestly, if that was the reason, I'm okay with it.
Who is going to be watching the Super Bowl?
I am.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit who wins, though, because I don't like either of these teams very much. I guess I'd rather just have the Patriots lose because I'm sick of them winning. That's it.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
And
get drunk and...
I don't sports.
Yeah.
Like, this is the only time of the year that I can wear this jersey without, like, getting too much grief, even though it's Roger Staubach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually a football fan. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan.
Ugh.
Get
out.
I enjoy me some football.
You get out.
Filthy,
You're
filthy
the one
man.
wearing a jersey here. You are the only one.
Don't hate the dynasty.
Well, and never
I
mind that.
ran a fantasy football league, and I'm still not wearing a jersey.
Real quick before we get too into things, I should mention that this week we are sponsored by Humble Bundle and Ripped Apparel. That's RIPT Apparel, who gave me this super rad t-shirt with a bunch of horror icons in Mega Man styling. I am all about it. There will be referral links in the description of the video and the description of this episode of the podcast.
And he has tentatively agreed to stab me to death at the end of it because he's wearing that shirt.
Yes,
Keep
exactly.
your ears open, people.
No, the real
Instead
question
of
is
a dagger,
what
we're gonna use
order?
this.
What order do you have to?
Yeah,
fight
what do
them
you
in?
okay, all right. I'll reveal the shirt. What's the order, do you think?
Well, first
I'm going to fight Chainsaw Man first and then just chainsaw all of the bosses to death.
I don't know, man. Nightmare Man?
No, you just can't beat a good old-fashioned chainsaw.
Sure.
I don't care if they're supernatural.
I don't know, man. Jason's taken has taken some beatings.
I heard he took
Chainsaw.
Manhattan once.
Yeah.
Boo.
He regrettably did.
He did.
Or, the Cenobite Man, his power is you just take his head and throw it at people. That'd be pretty dope.
But he has such things to show you.
So
He can show you
all right.
the world.
So the weakest ones on here are going to be Dr. Cannibal,
Doll Man.
Scream Man, Puzzle Man. Yeah. Well, no, because Doll Man's supernatural.
Fortunately,
Chucky will never die.
Fortunately, none of us are tropey enough individuals to really be in these situations, anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know.
'Cause,
I bet Tyler could pass for the virgin.
no.
Are you about to prove me wrong by sticking your dick in my mouth or something?
I was about to leave.
a fairly
man.
aggressive
I was about to
stand up
leave.
and walk towards me.
Talk shit, get kissed. Okay.
I've been inspired.
Oh, man. But yeah, this is a game that I would play, I think.
I would play that too.
It'd be fun.
I did. Wow. I guess it wouldn't be that scary. It's all 8-bit, so I wouldn't.
I don't know.
wouldn't have that
You
much
sure?
of an issue. Yeah.
All we have to do
I
is
think
put a
so.
green filter on it.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
It feels like it would be a ROM hack that's just not as cool as the Mega Man versus Street Fighter
Yeah.
thing that came out, but it would be okay.
Yeah. Oh.
But the
Yeah,
shirt's cool.
I think Chainsaw Man would probably have to be Chainsaw or Nightmare.
As long as it would be better than the actual NES Nightmare on Elm Street or the actual NES Friday the 13th.
Not a
The
hard-
game
not a hard
came
thing to
from
do.
inside the Nintendo.
But yeah, so I was very disappointed to learn that it was just a Stella Artois thing.
I wasn't because I already knew it was going to suck the moment you showed it to me.
But it's Stella, though.
I knew I was going to be disappointed.
So what if for like High Life?
and it seems very anti-dude.
Right?
You know,
like
like-
I mean, it's so against what
Yeah.
he is and that character. It's a little disappointing.
And never mind. So have you guys watched the full commercial?
Yeah.
I have
No,
not.
I didn't care. I knew it was going to be stupid.
It's a fairly new thing that they've been releasing the Super Bowl commercials a week freaking early.
Super
So
Bowl.
he goes to the bartender and the bartender says, "White Russian?" He goes, "Nah, I'll have a Stella." No, fuck you.
Fuck that
Yeah.
shit.
That's not
That's bullshit.
yeah. That is not very dude.
Hashtag not my dude.
Yeah. No kidding. God damn it, Jeff Bridges.
Yep.
I mean,
Speaking of-
don't the Coen brothers own that character when the Coen brothers have to sign off on this as well? It's not just something that Jeff Bridges can be like, "Oh yeah,
It might actually belong to the
Probably?
studio.
It's the studio.
Was that-
Oh
yeah,
yeah, good
so-
point. Good point.
And I'm assuming that there's some kind of thing in Jeff Bridges' contract for that movie with like promotional appearances, even though it's been how long?
Yeah, I was gonna
now?
say
Like,
I would have thought that would have expired by now.
but, I mean, you'd think, but you never know with those weird Hollywood contracts.
But no, great disappointment.
Speaking of disappointment,
Oh,
I
we're
know-
talking about your family life now?
This has been your shit on Tyler Minute.
Hey, we got a taser.
Whoa, bro.
this is my defense against the sadness.
Oh god.
Spoiler alert, your defense against the dark arts skills are probably better.
Oh, Brooks.
Go on, disappointments.
Turn the
So
taser
I
off.
know you and I talked about this earlier this week about the Batman animated movie.
Yes, the Batman Beyond
Batman
animated
Beyond
movie that
animated
was
movie.
announced. I am excited for that.
Officially announced.
Batman Beyond Thunderdome.
Totally a hoax.
What?
Yeah.
What? Are you serious?
Yep. Warner Brothers.
HOAX hoax.
Pretty much anyone involved with the Warner Brothers animated shot down, debunked.
Oh man.
Shot down. It's all been
That
destroyed.
makes me sad.
It's not happening. So if you were looking forward to a Batman Beyond animated movie, like both Ryan and
Did
I
you
were,
really think you're gonna
it's
get something
not
you wanted?
happening.
Like that. That's what it boils down to. When
Well,
you hear
2018 has taught us a lot of things.
that Batman Beyond wasn't one of them.
No, but getting that we're not going to get what we want and that life sucks.
It seemed plausible in that the success in the wake of the success that Into the Spider-Verse saw.
You'd think.
That Batman Beyond would be a feasible jump for DC to make. Yeah, that makes me very sad and disappointed.
I would if I was the guys in DC and I saw Into the Spider-Verse and how rad it was. I don't think I'd pick Batman for that.
No?
Not Batman Beyond. No, I would pick something. I would try to dredge up something that not too many people are familiar with, but enough to get interesting. So maybe like an animated Green Lantern movie, or an animated, because it's got to be like fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, whimsy was a huge
Like
part
Gu-
of Spider-Verse.
Like
and there's
Guy
no-
Gardner.
Yeah.
There's
You just
no
get
whimsy
Guy
in
Gardner.
Batman. Like, there just isn't. Unless it's the villains doing the whimsy.
Well, I mean, that's kind of so one.
Whimsy.
Whimsy.
I mean, there was a little bit in Batman Beyond, but I guess you're not wrong.
But like what?
Batman is an edgelord. He's cool, but he's an edgelord.
But Batman Beyond isn't Batman; it's Terry McGinnis.
I know.
He's still an edgelord.
He's a little snappier
He
for
is-
sure.
He's an alternative edgelord.
Yeah, but he's still an edgelord.
I suppose.
You could do like a
Plus,
you could do
Bruce Wayne
you could do
is still an edgelord,
Flashpoint
but-
like that really easy.
Flash would be a cool.
Well, I mean, like specifically the Flashpoint art.
I know, but the Flash would be a good
Yeah.
Flash
Flash is
animated
quippy.
That would be a lot
yeah.
of fun. I could see that being a lot of fun.
In fact, you could do a Kid Flash movie instead.
And has a thing of the multiple timelines across, in time travel and things
I
like
could
that.
see that
Or Blue
working
Beetle.
very well.
Or
Yeah.
Booster Gold.
But I
I'd
still
love to
really
see,
wanted to see a Batman
Jonah
Beyond
Hex.
movie.
I'd love to see Swamp Thing done better than the Swamp Thing movie.
I want to see a metal as fuck Ghost Rider movie, and I know that's Marvel.
I would love to see Ghost Rider done right. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Ghost Rider just needs to be like an '80s like horror motorcycle movie.
I could see that.
with the Ghost Rider as like
That would be cool.
the thing chasing the guys.
Has anyone here watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. far enough to where Ghost Rider actually shows
No,
up?
because
Okay.
because Agents of Shield did not capture my interest, and I avoided it.
I enjoyed it for the most part.
He closed the
I-
gates to the Citadel.
We don't have space for this in the Mind Palace.
No, I have to keep watching The Prisoner instead.
Do you know how much shit I'd have to move around?
I just move around a lot of shit.
My slaves cost a lot of money, I'll have you know.
When you surprise, when you don't pay someone for their work, it costs more money somehow. Feeding and housing them.
Oh, man.
But anyways,
yeah, that's a disappointment, though I'm also not super surprised. But, yeah, I'd love to see Batman Beyond come back.
I would too. It was so good.
that
it
would
was
be
very
neat.
good.
We were already talking about potential castings and everything.
I
Fool.
did
Sorry.
see
on your
Scarlet Buzzsaw.
Ooh, how was it?
You mean Velvet Buzzsaw?
Velvet Buzzsaw.
Velvet Buzzsaw, that's
Oh,
what
is
it
that on now?
was. Yeah, it came out on February 1st.
Oh, well, then I have something to watch tonight.
And
Same here. Was it
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed that. There's not much in the way of explanation.
Perfect.
Mystery is powerful.
Is mostly graphic payoff.
I don't need a movie to hold my hand and tell me everything.
Yeah, I mean it's the movie is basically becomes the horror trope of the hit list. The you've got your list of people, and it's just a matter of time. You're counting down for each death.
Now,
Also,
is it?
I mean, I have an imagination. I can postulate things when I watch media. I don't know why people there are people who get frustrated when you're like, nothing was explained and I don't get it.
Well, and I feel like
That's what Wikipedia's for, guys.
in
That's what
this movie, it didn't
unneeded
really
prequels
need
are for,
a ton of explanation. You had your setup, and there's not a ton to explain beyond that.
Yeah.
It's just that setup is actually quite simple.
It wasn't the setup. It was something along the lines of guy died and they're selling his art and it's cursed or whatever. Is that what was going on?
I mean, basically, but it's like guy died and his dying, wishes were destroy everything in his apartment.
and then they didn't do it.
Exactly.
Because without that, there would be no film. It's just 10 minutes of like a guy in real time
device.
of a guy like unloading a box full of this stuff and just in the fire. Just
It gets pretty creative.
it
It's
just
got a great
ends.
cast.
Credits.
no, like one puff of smoke. It looks like a skull, And then just all right, cool.
Credits roll.
Well, that's cool. I remember watching the trailer for that. It looked like it was going to be pretty neat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it Tyler safe?
No.
Nothing is Tyler
Nothing
safe.
is Tyler safe.
We have to baby-proof the corners of Ryan's house when you're here.
No corners,
I wish I could laugh.
know
but
your
it's true.
exits, and avoid the Tindalo doorways. Hey, have you guys seen Children
I
of the
think that you
Mirror?
would still enjoy it, but
Okay.
Children of the what?
Children of the Mirror.
I don't think so. No.
It's a little YouTube thing. It's so Wham City Comedy, the guys that did This House Has People in It, Unedited Footage of Bear,
Oh sure. Oh yeah. Okay. And the
and
the fuck. What is it?
The
one-
Cry of Man.
No, the one that was like the never-ending sitcom.
Too Many Cooks.
Yeah, Too Many Cooks. Thank you.
Yeah, they did like and it's like 6 videos total of like these interviews with a fake cult called Children of the Mirror.
Okay.
And it's interesting.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds. I really
Unedited-
enjoyed everything.
The only one
seen.
I've seen is unedited footage. Of
You've
it,
never seen
so-
Too Many Cooks?
I don't think I have.
Because Too Many Cooks got
Brooks is
really.
putting on his blinders.
I'd like to.
That's what they do in the video.
Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to block out my.
I thought he was
Your
saying
ignorance.
he could no
My
longer
ignorance,
associate
yeah.
with us.
Yeah, right.
just like I'm done.
No longer
I'm out.
associate with you.
Plebes.
I have joined
That
the mirror.
That is the real
Or he-
world
or
analog
you-
for when Brooks shuts the gates to the Mind Palace. He just puts his hands in front of his eyes.
Instead of closing his
actually-
eyes
And then we have
like
to get him
any
the,
normal person.
Like the ear protection for autistic children so he can't get any sensory input.
That's actually his audition video for Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of Guillermo del Toro, though,
Yes.
I found out. So number one, you guys know who Forrest J. Ackerman is?
No, but the name sounds familiar.
Uncle Forey, Forrest J. Ackerman, is probably one of the most important people in the history of horror cinema
Okay.
because he was just this dedicated fan from like the beginning who was like crawling through dumpsters and shit in LA to get these props.
Oh,
Props,
shit.
original posters. Like his house was called the Acker Mansion. And he used to just let people come in there for free on tours and stuff like that. And just see all of this film stuff that studios just threw away because they didn't think it was important. And he has since died. And a lot of his stuff has ended up at universities and things like that.
Pour one out.
But Guillermo del Toro, his house is essentially the successor to the Acker Mansion.
Okay.
It's called Bleak House. And it just has a bunch of really cool horror stuff. He's got like wax figures of Edgar Allan Poe in a room, like sitting in a chair looking at H.P. Lovecraft. And there's like hair on the faces. Like they put hair, they implanted hair in the faces and then shaved it to look perfect 5 o'clock
wow.
shadow.
Is it
And, like-
human hair?
Maybe, I don't know. He's got a bunch of wax figures from Freaks and a bunch of all kinds of his movie stuff. It's really cool.
That's awesome. And I would expect nothing less of Guillermo del Toro.
Honestly.
That doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, it just makes me very happy to know.
Yes.
Keep it down, Brooks.
Jesus,
Are
Brooks.
you dying?
Sorry, this is the final day of my cold.
I remember hearing that Guillermo del Toro was doing a new thing. Like, yes, that's right. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. The first poster of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was released this past week.
You mean that one right there?
Yes.
I don't think
The
I've ever
Scarecrow.
actually finished that book.
The Scarecrow of Romney Marsh?
And I am very happy with that look.
walks at night.
Scarecrow's kind of funny looking.
He looks
I
like
mean, it's adapted from the what's his name, Stephen.
Universe
No,
King.
I can't remember who did the artwork, but I think it was Stephen something. But yeah,
Hillenberg.
so it's based on that image, but his artwork is fucking amazing.
I don't think I could ever finish. I never finished this book. I had this book growing up.
Gotta read a
but,
scary
like-
book, son.
And I read the first like 4 or 5 stories.
Yeah, so are they just
and
going?
I just couldn't.
Are they
It's-
just going to choose a few stories and just?
My guess
It's
is
like a creep show.
Anthology.
My guess is
I
it's
love
going to be
Creepshow.
Creepshow, and I love Creepshow as well. We've seen the death of the horror anthology over the past 20 years.
We
30
get a
years.
couple every now and then. Like VHS 2 was really
now,
solid.
That's right. VHS and VHS 2 I enjoyed,
I didn't
as
like the
well
first one
as
as much.
Trick or Treat, which we still need a follow-up to Trick or Treat. But
I just want to throw this out there to anybody who's listening. If you're into Creepshow, the Black Dahlia Murder did a music video for a song called "Everything Went Black," and it's some of the stories from Creepshow.
Oh, really?
That they just redid. It's really cool.
I got to meet Tom Savini, and he was next to one of the things he made for. So the story with the thing in the box, that puppet.
yeah,
I got to meet him
that's cool.
That's
next to
badass.
that puppet.
That's really cool.
He was
Tom Savini's a fucking legend.
Yeah, although when I met him, it was just kind of weird because like I didn't like I've been to plenty of like little cons and stuff like that and like talked to people, but I've never like talked to someone that I was just like I had appreciated his work, but didn't actually imagine what I was going to say to him prior
Sure,
to meeting him. So
sure.
it's kind of like no, it wasn't like that.
Sounds
like
like
that. It was
every
like-
celebrity encounter that
It was
I've
like,
ever had.
I'm waiting for something to talk about. Hey, I liked your work in Creepshow. thanks. And then he rattled off some joke that I couldn't quite catch. And was just kind of like, okay.
Me too. Bye.
No, I didn't do that. I was just like, okay. And I just turned around, walked away. But then I had some pleasant celebrity encounters, like I met Eddie Munster, and he remembered my name an hour after I met him. I got to see the guy, one of the guys in the Ultraman costumes.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's super cool.
I'm never in the environment for any of these things to happen. I have never bumped into or even been in the presence of somebody who's remotely famous. I've never gone to
You're in the
concert or
presence
anything
of
like
me.
that. Yeah, I mean, arguably, Ryan, you are probably the most well-known person I've ever interacted with in my life.
Well,
That's not saying a lot.
No.
I mean, we are going to do that Let's
no,
Play
it's
with...
not.
Yeah. That is going to be awesome.
Way to just throw that one out there.
Yeah.
Will officially be the
now
most...
it's
So
it's out.
We can censor that. Just
I am going to have to bleep that out because I don't think we should announce it yet.
all right. We're
Okay.
not talking about it. This is the part where
All I can say is this person, Beep, is going to be the most famous person I've ever been in the same room as.
beep.
Yeah.
Get hype.
I used to actually write for different websites, and I got to meet Tony Curran and do a
So the guy that wrote
interview
the
with
Quran?
Tony Curran. No, he was he's. I hate you so much.
I mean,
Okay, hold on.
I
It's
could have
been a
gone way
while since
nerdier
we've
with
done
that
this,
and
but-
brought up a fictional band called Chrome. Oh, he's the front man for Chrome Quran.
Damn it! No. Van Gogh in Doctor Who. He was also the bad guy. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I got to do an interview with him, and I totally made
I
it.
thought it was pronounced Van Gogh.
The way the British
Van Gogh.
pronounce it is closer to the proper Dutch.
Well, we did kick their ass in a war once, so we can say whatever we damn well
The
want.
way,
And then we got
the
our
way that
asses
the
kicked in
British
the next war after that.
the way that the British pronounce it is Van Gogh.
Van Scoff.
But that's my famous
For me, it's like Maurice LaMarche was probably the biggest meeting. Someone who I idolized. Like that's the only time that I've ever been like emotionally moved after meeting someone famous. Was Maurice LaMarche, because I mean he's been in every single cartoon that I've ever loved in my entire life.
I met Just Insane once. He was
He's a cool dude.
he was on something.
Yeah.
I did forget. I met Edward James Olmos at Comic-Con once.
Yeah.
And that was probably my
Oh
big.
man.
That was cool.
I would geek out
Tony-
so much about Blade Runner with him.
Oh, I geeked out about that and Stand and Deliver. It was
I
Stand
met
Deliver.
Penn Jillette when I went to see.
Was he the best a man could get?
I know this is relevant to the topic, but it feels like everyone's just flexing at each other right now.
yeah, I know, it's great.
This is a flex song.
well, I met
but no,
start taking our shirts
similar.
off. I met Doctor from EMH from Voyager.
Specifically similar to your Tom Savini story, I didn't have anything to say to Penn Jillette. Rather,
Did he have
I
anything
felt
to
like
say
I
to you?
wanted to have a conversation with him, like really have a conversation with him, and it wasn't the setting to have that.
You should have dropped
And
the Bible.
it was, I went to see that NPR trivia show that Jonathan Colton does the music for.
Wait, don't tell me.
No, the other one.
Oh,
Ask Me Another.
that's right.
I went. Ask Me
Ask
Another
Me
was in
Another's
town. I went to see Ask Me Another, and Penn Jillette was one of their guests. And after the show, he's like standing at the edge of the stage, kind of greeting people. Now, Penn Jillette's already a super fucking tall guy, and he's standing on the stage and kind of bending down, to greet people and stuff like that. So, like, when I approach him, I'm coming up to, like, I don't know, his knees. And so I just kind of reached my hand up. I'm like, thanks for everything you do. And then walked away, and that was it.
He spits on your face and goes, "Kneel before me, peasant."
Well, thank you, sir, for making Desert Bus.
Yeah. But no, I love pretty much everything that Penn Jillette does, except libertarianism.
It's libertariable.
Yeah.
But
I think that's technically the biggest celebrity that I've ever met was Penn Jillette, and the most fucked up emotionally I got after meeting a celebrity was Maurice LaMarche.
I met Brent Spiner.
I met God once.
I heard he might be one of us. Did you meet him on the bus?
Just
Well,
as odd,
no.
like
That
one of
was
us.
just supposing if he were.
Oh.
It was
know-
not suggesting that he is.
I have a great hatred for that song, mostly because I would assume working at a retail business, as I once did, they would not play highly religiously motivated music.
Sure.
But I worked at a Total Wine that had mostly a very elderly Midwestern / Canadian crowd. So I got to hear What If God Was One of Us almost twice every day.
Oh,
Every day.
almost twice.
Yeah.
Like by the time your shift was ending, it
I
was halfway through its second playthrough.
I got
drank
so
himself.
tired of it that I would, when the song would come on, I would just say like, I'm stepping off the floor, and I would just go into the back, or I'd go to the bathroom and just wait it out.
He actually just blacked out. Like he learned how to black out
Was
as
it-
a
no,
response,
Dan,
like a defense response.
What was
I'm a
it-
sleeper agent, except that song just causes me to crumple into a pile on the floor, and I don't
So-
reactivate until it's over.
Sleeper agent in the sense that
I literally
you
go to
literally go to sleep.
Now, was it one of those retail situations where it was on at the same time every day too?
Yes, because it's the same playlist.
Yeah.
So the playlist
Yeah.
was a CD sent to us by corporate.
Yeah,
That you
we had
put-
the same thing at Spencer's.
Exactly. You put the CD in at the start of every shift and just put it on repeat. And that shit sucks.
So
Yep.
he
Yeah, I had that at Sears. I could tell you what time it was based on how many times I'd heard Dido's White Flag.
See, Spencer's wasn't as bad because, like, you know, Halloween season would roll around. We'd have songs like Godzilla on there and shit like that.
Wait,
Godzilla.
Godzilla like the Blue Oyster Cult or Godzilla like the
Blue
Racer,
Oyster
like the
Cult.
Racer X cover?
Blue Oyster Cult.
You guys gotta listen to the Racer X cover sometime.
It's good.
I love Blue Oyster Cult, but I prefer their cover. I prefer the cover.
Sure.
I enjoy that cover as well. It's good.
Yeah. What have you guys been playing this week? Anything?
The game, which I
Oh,
love.
God damn it. I'm not goddamning that. I'm goddamning what because I know what's about to come out of your mouth.
What is it?
Just
man?
fucking say it.
Take it away.
Just fucking say it.
Dream Drop Distant Chain of Doom.
I love it so much. It's amazing. I can't stop playing. I played it for like 12 hours yesterday. I'm not even kidding. That's
You know,
actually
I play with
Headphones warning.
toys in my room like an adult. Okay, I don't need to. I don't need to play Kingdom Hearts 3. That's all the shit talking I'm gonna do. Go ahead, Tyler.
It's actually okay. So I have a weird. It's funny. So playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm playing through it, and I'm enjoying the hell out of the gameplay. The gameplay is fantastic, and then with the Disney stuff, which I know is Dan's favorite part of the game. Like they
Don't have the
bring in
Scarecrow
the
Romney Marsh in there. Then they're not real Disney fans.
But they have like the
The
original
moon
voice
spinners.
actors for a good amount of the Disney characters. So they have Hercules, they have Meg, they have they were not able to get Tom Hanks, but they were able to get his brother for
Oh, well, that's good.
for Woody, which is great. But but they have Idina
Actually,
Menzel.
that's not uncommon. That's
That's
an
what-
age-old thing.
That's what
Is-
his brother does.
His brother
Yeah,
does
yeah.
that. He steps in, which is really cool, and like he does a very good job. Obviously, they're related. I would assume that he'd be able to do a very good impression of his brother.
Yeah.
But it's just this really weird like conflict in this game where I'm playing through and it's like, oh, all these amazing Disney voice actors, and then what's happening? Everyone's kind of smiling at me.
Keep talking.
Why?
Shut up and talk.
What's happening? I'm really scared.
Why are you
right
so
now.
easily distracted? This is a podcast.
We're just being
Continue
quiet so you can
speaking.
talk.
It's my own fault because I saw what was going on immediately and couldn't stop smiling about it. And so you probably saw me laughing at Brooks doing what Brooks does.
Okay.
Just keep going, man. I almost finished.
And I,
Long
by
story
extension, was
short.
very close.
Yeah.
It is really fun. There's some weird voice acting foibles that like really
In that
bring
the
me
voice
back.
acting is absolute garbage.
Terrible. When any Final Fantasy character starts talking, I'm like, just like, please stop. And then
That's because they're all edgelords.
there's a lot of issues with like camera angles
I have
and
no choice.
like it's really weird because I'll be fighting and I was like, this is great, and then I'll use like one of the they call it the amusement park abilities where like literally you jump onto a ride in Disneyland and kind of kick ass. It's a little ridiculous, but it's really beautiful looking. But then like the camera's off and like sometimes you just can't see. And I'm like, I haven't had issues like this in a AAA game in 10 years. And then I'm like, oh, I'm having some nostalgia here. I'm remembering how it was like playing this game on the PS2 15 years ago.
That's not praise.
It's not. It's weird. It feels almost intentional though. And I don't know. I enjoy it. I'm loving the hell out of it. But there are some really weird... God damn it!
Every day we stray further from the light of God.
But yeah, there are some strange foibles like that where it's just like, okay, this is great, this is great, this is great, and I'm in 2002 again. And it's just really
So what you're
weird.
telling me is it's like if Capcom hadn't learned anything since Resident Evil 2 and just remade the same game with better graphics.
That wasn't Capcom.
What?
Kingdom Hearts didn't make Capcom.
No.
Resident
I know.
Evil 2.
I said
sorry.
Resident Evil 2.
Sorry, I was like, no, don't drag Capcom into this.
See, Brooks was going half brain dead.
I was suggesting
Sorry,
that if the Resident Evil 2 remake had come out and it was still static cameras, for example.
Ew.
It's a little bit like that.
It's
at
the company
some
going,
points.
hey guys, we didn't learn anything over the past 20 years.
You guys liked this awkward part of the game, right? You guys like loading screens? We got shit ton.
Okay, so actually that's a very good thing to talk about. I've seen a few points where it's like you remember those old cutscenes where it's like they'll give you the cutscene and then they'll inexplicably let you walk for a second and then there will be another cutscene. Like it's just this cutscene that doesn't need to be there. And I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And it happened and I'm like, is this like 1998? It was really weird. With that said, I'm enjoying the hell out of it because it is really fun.
Because you're a fanboy.
No, it's because the combat's really fun.
I have to admit, like, as stupid as Kingdom Hearts is, the gameplay has always been really cathartic.
Really? It always looks to me
mindless
like
and
mindless. Yeah,
it is.
It's mindless.
There's 100 different
RPG
ways.
stuff.
There's 100 different ways to hit X and kill things.
It's baby's first ARPG, but it's flashy. And there is a payoff. It's satisfying, not for how challenging it is, which coming from me is a bit of a statement because I usually don't like games that aren't challenging. But it's good.
Exactly.
It is fun to play even if the game is stupid. It is so stupid.
Oh, it's so stupid. The story is terrible.
Yeah.
It's the game that I like the back of my head screaming like, why do you like this? But the everything else is like, this is so much fun. And I sit down and I look up and it's like 5 hours later. And also Disney nerd, so I fucking love Disney.
Sure.
But
I have to bring this up every time Kingdom Hearts comes up. There is a move in the 3D version of the Chain of Memories game that only Japan got for a long time. We got it on the collection when it came out.
Yep.
If you stack up a bunch of Goofy cards and use them, you literally pick Goofy up with Donald like a battering ram and just run into enemies. It's great.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
That
and
is pretty funny.
It's literally the best thing that's ever happened in that entire series. Because the bar isn't very high.
Yeah, no.
there's those theme park moves. You literally jump onto a carousel and you get like a weird button timing like action event
Oh
thing.
boy, my favorite.
Where there's it's basically Guitar Hero, but you're on a fucking merry-go-round. And if you get it excellent, it does damage, and it does more damage, and then it explodes. And then there's also another one where you jump onto the Bear Mountain.
Country Bears?
No, the Grizzly Rapids at California Adventure, and you literally jump into that ride, and then just kind of jump all over the place and make water trails. And then when the final finisher is that you literally follow the trail and just do a shit ton of damage to everybody on screen. It's ridiculous, stupid fun.
Yeah, it's never been my thing. I've given Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 a try and just lost interest real quick. Like they try and cram a lot of things that they don't put enough effort or time into.
It's 100% true.
You know, like the fucking building your own jelly ship and shit like that. Like,
The fans of the game don't like the gummy
ship.
ships.
yeah, whatever the fuck it was. Like all
It is a hot mess. They try to do too many
a
things.
convoluted story that makes no goddamn sense. And they try to do too much. It's the master of none, issue.
Yes.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
You guys
And it's 100%
have
like this.
to finish the idiom because actually say that's better than someone that. But anyways, sorry. I had to jump in there with a literary. Well, actually. Well, actually.
But yeah, that's been my last few days. It's just nonstop playing.
I won't fault you for enjoying it. I know you're a big fanboy, and you love Disney and all that kind of shit. And in general, I enjoy a great deal of Disney properties myself, and I like a lot of the Final Fantasy properties and stuff that they've done there, and the artwork that the tattoo of Cloud that I have on my leg is from Kingdom Hearts because the artwork was outstanding for that iteration of the character. But I could never get myself actually into the game.
I 100% understand everyone who can't.
I've been playing a good Square Enix game this week myself.
Final Fantasy IV?
Yes, until. So I got to a crucial story point. And I got a little cavalier. And I went a little too far, and I forgot to save.
Oh,
I did this
no.
too this week. I did this too.
Oh, no.
So, I have to do a couple of boss fights again. And I mean, they're like one right after the other. It's not terrible.
It still shits on your motivation, though. I bet.
Yeah.
But, so I, in a rage, not a rage, more like, I'm too old for this. I should have known better. Popped that out, threw it away. Well, back in the box and on my desk. Away. And then started playing Mega Man 04.
I did literally the same thing this week with Final Fantasy 3 because I was not used.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Final Fantasy 3's job system thing, it needed work. There's a good reason we didn't get it in the States.
Yeah.
Well, we did.
Final Fantasy.
It is.
I mean, so when I talk about the numbers, I'm talking about the true numbers, not the American market release.
Right, so we didn't get Final Fantasy 3. The Final Fantasy... Oh, wait, that's right. The Final Fantasy 3 that was released is not... that was done for DS is not Final Fantasy 6. It is Final Fantasy 3 proper.
Yes.
Correct. That's right. I forgot about that.
And so... I like that you don't have to... You have the same 4 characters pretty much the entire time, and you get to you get an assist buddy that comes around and stuff like that. But there's too many times where the game is interrupted by, well, I haven't quite leveled enough yet. And so I gotta...
Well, that's always
Gotta
intentional.
go grind.
Well, yeah, but
That's called padding.
Yeah, but there's good padding, like FF6 padding, where it's, you have to go to this place all the way over here on the map, and you gotta walk. And that's great, because then it's like, okay, by the time that I get there, I should be good to go. But this was I have to wander around a tiny little spot to try to trigger a random encounter so I can keep leveling,
right?
Because I can't advance through this next dungeon without this ability, and it's a little lame. And by a little, I mean I stopped playing it.
So I have a couple things. That's why Bravely Default, for how stupid that game was, had a wonderful combat system. And if you haven't played it, you actually can set I think it's a percentage chance that you actually trigger a random encounter. You can go into the options whenever you want and turn off random encounters, or you can turn them to low, medium, very high. So if you do intentionally want to grind, you can just turn those up all the way and stand in place. You never have to do a random encounter in that game.
That's cool.
You can just shut them off.
Which is why I prefer and it has finally come. The time has finally come for me to segue into talking about Chrono Trigger, my favorite RPG of all time, because there are very rare...
Despite the Akira Toriyama artwork.
No, because of that. I love it.
Every single character he designs is identical to every single character he designs.
Yeah, I know.
And it looks great.
It looks good. I can suspend my disbelief.
Okay, I'll make a career out of drawing the same character over and over and over again and pass it off as a rich universe.
And you know what? It's worked, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's worked because people
worked on weebs. Not even weebs, lower than weebs.
Lower than weebs?
Yes.
Does it go lower?
Punished weebs.
It does get lower than weebs.
I feel like I feel like I'm being attacked right now.
You are.
I mean, you know that I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan.
I know.
I am an anime fan. Dragon Ball Z is not.
But Dragon Ball is tight.
Dragon Ball's all right.
But overlooking, because I know you don't like the art style. At the time, that was because I'd never played Dragon Quest, and I was like, wait a minute, this looks like the same stuff from Dragon Ball Z, but they're completely different characters. All right, I like this, but you have scripted random encounters as far as when you walk in a certain spot, you're gonna have something happen. But for the most time, you can see every enemy you're going to fight. There's no like walking around in an overworld and then being attacked by something.
Well, I mean, fuck, they did that in Zelda 2.
Yeah.
In Zelda 2, you're walking around and then 3 shadowy figures come at you and you can dodge that.
Which you can't in Final Fantasy. And I mean, it makes sense because it is an RPG and that's just kind of stuff that happens. But I preferred the Chrono Trigger active time thing as well. So where it's not like, all right, now it's my turn. I'm now going to patiently wait to destroy the universe while these player characters are readying their spells. It's just, all right, here's how much time you have between stuff, and you can boost your speed stats. So you always start first and things like that. Spell system's cool. Dual magic is you can use 2 magic users and combine spells, 3 magic users and combine spells. Time traveling, a great soundtrack. The DS release is the most complete version of that game because there was a dungeon never finished. They finished for that game.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
In addition to that, so Super Nintendo, PS1, DS. As far as those releases go, PS1 they added some anime cutscenes, which are cool.
Yeah, because PS1 was what? That was like...
It was part of the Final Fantasy Chronicles
collection.
Yeah,
I thought so.
It came with 4. But it's got cool anime cutscenes, which works with the art style because it's just like, oh, okay, I'm watching some not Dragon Ball thing. And the music is awesome, and I am gonna stop geeking out about it now. Because I know that if I let myself go, I'm just gonna take it the rest of the time.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, no,
but it's awesome.
That's one that I've always meant to revisit.
Same
because it's.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. You can buy it on PSN, the PlayStation 1 version.
I would probably rather buy the DS version.
The DS version is expensive.
Oh, really?
It's like $50.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
For an old DS game, I balk at it. It's like, I remember when this was $20.
Well, sure, but...
Oh, wait, hang on.
Good
games.
Is it
remastered on the DS, or is it like...
It is the most complete version of the game.
Yeah, none of the versions are remastered graphically.
Okay. No, which is... I prefer stupid athletic shoes. Yeah, so I'm probably going to pick that up on the DS because I have it. I don't own a physical copy of it on the Super Nintendo, but I have the PlayStation 1.
On the topic of forgetting to save and raging, I am happy that is not as much of a thing in gaming anymore. And the only place in my life where I encounter that is when I'm fucking green screening your dumbasses and the application decides to crash and I realize that the past 15 steps that I've just done are not saved.
Gotta smash that save button, dude.
Yeah.
I do have a story about a game not saving and becoming infuriated. Hotline Miami 2, actually. So, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that the game only saves when you quit playing. So, I'm done, it saves. I don't believe it auto-saves after every level. Here's why. I sat a whole night just playing both of them. It was a series that my friends had said, like, it's awesome, you gotta play it. I got all the way through Hotline Miami 1. It was badass. Play that game if you haven't. I got very close to the end of the second one, and I had a power outage. Because I had played through it all in one sitting and my computer rebooted, I reopened it and I had no save data.
Wow.
As though I had never even played the game.
Wow.
And to this date, I have still yet to finish it because I have to start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And Hotline Miami 2
is not nearly
It's definitively worse because there are a lot of open area gunfighting scenes and it's bullshit.
Soundtrack is rips.
Oh, yeah. The soundtrack to both of them is outstanding.
I did the same thing with Mass Effect 1. I got...
the worst Mass Effect. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Andromeda. I haven't played Andromeda,
I think it was
but it might be worse.
Andromeda.
I think it was 25, 30 hours in. I'd put a lot of time, or, a decent amount of time into this fucking game. And I got to a save point where, it was just before getting onto my ship after finishing a world. Or something like that. It's been so long. I can't remember exactly what it was. But basically, I saved the game and then started walking forward, and it literally wouldn't let me. There was an invisible wall that should not have been there. It was a game crashing.
It's all in your mind palace.
Your mind shack.
And I seriously, it was like Google worrying,
Mind
like
shack,
trying to.
Baby mind shack.
God damn it!
If we're
Tell
gonna
it a
talk
story!
about B-52s, there's some better songs, but
But long story short, it was a game-breaking bug. I could not get out of it. I only had my one save file because I had not learned to save in multiple save spots as one should. So I had that 30 hours of this fucking game, and even when I reloaded the game, I was not able to move.
That sucks.
Oh, man.
I turned the game off
And came
never
here to
turned
the
it
podcast.
back on again, and have still never played Mass Effect.
So
Don't worry, Mass Effect 1 was not a very tight experience. People praised that game, but the combat felt like ass.
2 is pretty good, though.
I gave Mass Effect 1 a try and then never went back into Mass Effect because they set it up like a third-person shooter, first-person shooter, kind of deal, and then they use RPG rules for whether you hit or not. So as
What?
if I'm pointing at someone and shooting directly at them, the hit ratio is
called spread
incredibly
and
low.
range.
No, it super wasn't spread.
Sure.
It absolutely wasn't.
I have played countless hours, particularly of the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and I never felt that problem.
Mass Effect
Mass Effect
3
1.
Mass
is
Effect
different.
Mass Effect 1, the guns were just awful.
It was I only experienced this in Mass Effect 1, and it turned me off from the series.
Wasn't Mass Effect 1 the one that had very similar combat to similar combat rules?
I wonder how many times we're going to say Mass
KOTOR?
Effect.
What?
To KOTOR.
KOTOR? I never played KOTOR.
I never played KOTOR either.
It was the same kind of thing where you're shooting and
It was just
would be like, oh, you
infuriating 'cause
missed.
it super wasn't spread because you can see spread.
Okay.
This was I'm hitting someone and it's not hitting them.
Well, in the future entries, that's not an issue.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2 completely revamped.
I
the
played a lot
combat.
of 2 and 3. I would have liked to enjoy Mass Effect 1 more, but unfortunately, again, it just wasn't good. It felt bad. It feels bad the whole time you play it.
Yeah.
But the second and third ones were pretty awesome. People will talk about story was BioWare can't write good stories. Whatever, I don't care. The gameplay is awesome.
BioWare definitely
I got
write good stories.
I got lost in the multiplayer of number 3. Couldn't stop playing it. It was
Really?
It's an experience that I still wish another game would recreate. It is the only big online multiplayer thing that I got into in the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I feel like I still wouldn't end up getting into it. 'Cause you know me, I avoid online multiplayer unless I'm playing with friends, and even then, it's kind
Yeah,
of
but it's not a problem on that. It's wave based, so you're fighting factions and they come in waves, and sometimes you have objective rounds. You don't need to.
as in it's not PvP or
No, it's all cooperative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all cooperative. Teams of 4, and they have.
God, I would probably avoid it even more because then I just don't want people to be like, "Get good, noob."
You can't. No, you don't have to talk to them.
No.
I just mute everybody. Are you kidding
okay,
me?
sure.
I don't give a shit what any of those people have to say. They have a bunch of different, so it's all the different classes, the same types like soldier, infiltrator, vanguard, whatever, adept. But there's all the different races that are participating in this galactic war. You can unlock from those different races, and they all have different abilities. A smaller set of abilities than Shepard would have, but a tight setup. And it's really cool. You get to play as a lot of different things. I can't recommend it enough, but it's dead now. It's so dead.
Oh,
It's-
is it?
Yeah, I've gotten on every now and then.
Vaporwave is dead.
Just to see, like, could I get back on and could I get back into this and play more with these people? No, not really. Only if you want to play with the same couple people every match. It is that dead.
Sure.
It sucks. I was told
I'm
in
kind of
Drum-
surprised that I mean,
You're
with
surprised
it,
that Mass Effect 3's player base died?
yeah.
The game's pretty old now, dude.
It's
Oh, I
old,
know.
and also
there are a
it-
lot of old games that were lauded in their time that are their
but those games are
multiplayer
good.
is still kicking.
Mass Effect 3 was not lauded though.
Try
Mass
playing
Effect 3
Chivalry
people
Online
hated.
sometime.
That was the one that had the big controversy because
They
it was
hated-
actually not
they hated the
developed
ending.
by BioWare. It was developed by
Yeah, I thought the issues with Mass Effect 3 was the story.
yeah.
They hated the ending. I did not hear a lot of complaints about the rest of it.
That was the one that they had all of the everyone's making fun of the facial animation.
No, that's Andromeda. That is Andromeda.
Oh, sorry. I'm
That is
thinking
Andromeda.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm thinking Andromeda. You're right. My bad.
because I was gonna say I don't remember anyone complaining about technical things with Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3 was
I am conflating
was
3 and Andromeda.
the most tight technical experience of the entire trilogy. I loved playing the Vanguard class. That's what I did all the time. You just charge in and do stupid shit. You go hard. It's awesome. That's it. That's all I have to say. Because Brooks is going to burn a hole through me with his gaze. What if I knock down the doors to your mind palace?
I played Mass Effect once and it was kind of boring.
Now you know how I feel when we talk about movies, Brooks.
Yeah, but movies end. Mass Effect doesn't.
We should talk about Disney movies just to make.
Yes, because I actually watched Fantastic One last night.
What did you watch?
The Scarecrow of Romney Marsh, otherwise known as Dr. Syn. Syn. It's really cool. It's like this super old
All right.
Disney movie that Patrick McGowan is the main star in.
I've never
And
seen it, but I've heard of it.
it's like based on a series of pulp stories called Dr. Syn about this like preacher guy on like the southwestern coast of England, like around the Dover area. And he's one of those like Robin Hood type guys. And so by day he's this like preacher guy, but by night he is the Scarecrow of Romney Marsh. So kind of like Batman, Zorro, Robin Hood, all kind of thrown into one. He's got some accomplices. It's old.
Actually sounds kind
The
of cool.
theme song is tight.
Do you know what year it is?
1963.
Oh, okay. So not that old, not plumbing the real depths of the Disney vault, but
I mean, it's still like, so my friend had to, Danny had to buy a bootleg but getting a hold of they don't sell it digitally, and the actual copy, getting an actual copy because it's from a limited run of a series is like $500.
good lord.
But the bootleg is the same thing. It's fine. It looks
Sure.
really good. And it was shown to U.S. audiences in 3 parts in Disney's Wonderful World of Color. So the American release is longer because it was as a show, but they combined it into a movie for the English market, and it did very well. Disney went into this village that these stories were set in, and paid to restore the historic chapel there, so like what it actually looked like, just so they could film it.
And then Walt Disney sucked the life force out of everybody there.
Right.
Now this Walt Disney was still alive. He was, they were still trying to be.
It was
good.
before.
That's
he
my
was,
point.
It was before he was frozen and in
It was
cryogenic
it was
stasis.
pre-Eisner. Okay.
That
Are you
doesn't make
guys-
Walt Disney any less of a dirtbag.
Are you guys familiar with the conspiracy theory with Disney being frozen?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, I only wouldn't have. I would have brought it up if I wasn't.
There's more to it than that. Are you familiar with their attempt to cover it up?
Oh, RoboCop.
No.
I think so.
Releasing the movie Frozen.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about
Google Walt Disney Frozen. Now all the search results are for the movie Frozen and not for Walt Disney
God
having
damn it,
cryogenically
that's so
frozen
sad.
himself.
That's actually
Well, the cold-
hilarious if true.
Yeah, right.
The cold never
Also,
bothered them
a
anyways.
little on the nose. Hey guys, you know what'll let us sweep this under the rug if we release a movie named Frozen?
No, it's honestly when you look at Jasmine was watching this conspiracy theorist YouTuber, and he did like you can apparently do search results in a year range. Or
Yes,
something?
and you can see how often it was searched for.
Yeah, and
The Wayback Machine.
But no, not on archive.org.
archive.org.
This is just built in
There's
Google.
it's Google Trends.
So he did a search for Walt Disney Frozen pre-Frozen, and every single result is: did Walt Disney cryogenically freeze himself? Walt Disney's head is frozen, etc. All these
his
kinds of
body
things.
is frozen in stasis at the heart of Space Mountain.
And then the second that you move to after
Post-Frozen.
Frozen came out, it's nothing but the movie Frozen.
So I just
Because
want
that
to point
movie's
this
annoying.
out.
Yep.
They waited 12 years, 20 years, however the fuck long. What,
He
Google
died
was
in, like,
98.
the-
No, Google. I'm talking.
Oh,
Google
since
was
Google,
98. This conspiracy theory has been going on for decades.
Well, here's the thing: if you address it immediately, then people are knowing that you're trying to cover something up.
He's not wrong.
Absolutely.
He's not wrong. It is a very clever way of just kind of sweeping something aside.
Only Google, like I don't know.
Robot Chicken
It's
will
not
always
going to only be
that
Google,
Disney thing and the
obviously. It's
spider
going to
robot.
be every search engine. I mean,
Well,
don't
yeah,
be so...
but I mean that's so like really the only
Where does the world go for their knowledge?
Google.
The library.
Now, yeah.
The internet.
Yeah.
Only you go to the library, bros.
Yeah.
Or that homeless guy who's masturbating at the computer.
The library.
Oh, man.
Speaking of Disney, I'm pretty excited. They are.
Yeah, you already talked about
Potentially.
Kingdom Hearts 3, I know.
No, there's another Disney thing.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3.5.
No.
Final remakes.
Dream Drop Distance.
Go on,
Hunchback.
Tyler.
Live action Hunchback. Of Notre
Why
Dame.
are you excited for that?
Because
don't-
I.
Why do they need?
Really
Why do they
badly.
need
Why?
to?
Yeah.
It was fine. Like,
Why
I'm,
is it necessary?
like,
Because they can
so
get
that,
rid of the
for
fucking
example,
gargoyles.
There's no reason to remake
No,
Dumbo
Dumbo, no. Lion King, no.
or the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, they can get rid of the fucking gargoyles because they suck and they're not funny.
I mean, you can hate them, but if Disney's gonna do a Hunchback of Notre Dame remake, then
They're
they
going to have the gargoyles.
then they're gonna have the gargoyles. They're gonna be comedians. One of them is probably gonna be Josh Gad.
Because Josh Gad's so hot right now.
But I would rather, instead of them doing like that, just do a translation of the book.
One of them is going to be T.J. Miller.
Well, that's
Have
what
all
I
three
kind of
be
No,
really
no one's gonna touch T.J. Miller.
TJ Miller's not going to be touched for a while.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't think Disney will be the one to do that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But he is,
I mean, he's already
he is
been dro-
riding the success of the Emoji Movie.
Barf.
Barf emoji.
Why do I speak?
It's a good
Because
question,
it's a
Dan.
podcast. It's
good
the
question.
entire,
Punished.
You're right.
entire purpose.
Welcome to the
here
Punished
is just-
podcast.
Sometimes I feel like I open my mouth just to be punished for it.
which you love.
Harder, Daddy.
Your favorite thing in the world is being punished.
Oh yeah.
So,
And I have been told there's a titillating voicemail waiting for me at the end of today's podcast, everybody. Whoa.
God
That'll
damn.
jump you straight up.
By
yeah.
the way, before we, I'm feeling the end of the podcast.
It is coming up soon.
So
Yes.
Yes.
we have this taser, and obviously it is for our new.
Please, it is a stun gun.
Sorry,
Taser is a brand
stun
name.
gun.
It is a battering ram
It's
for Tyler's Mind Palace.
Zap Pain again.
Yeah.
Yes, we get it. We've heard it.
Long time. Long
Use
story
your
short,
words.
I feel like we need to maybe have a test.
Now?
Yeah. I feel like we need to have a test.
Oh.
If we're gonna test this, we're gonna have to
If-
test it on.
Considering you suggested the test, I think the test has to
I
happen.
feel
Tyler,
on
like
you.
it should be all.
Take all the
No, it
electronics
has
out
to
of your
happen on
pocket.
you.
Take all the what?
Take all the electronics off of you.
Okay. You know what?
Here, I'll hold that
We're
for
doing
you.
this.
Power that off, and I'll hold that for you while you're doing that. I will not shock
Thank you.
Here, Dan, hold this.
I don't. I
This
trust you more
because-
than Dan.
I am going to be the one who will be tasing Tyler / Ryan.
Yeah, so in case people missed it, we are going to be starting a series called Get Good, and Dan is going to be our coach in playing
Play it,
some
coach.
more punishing games, and when Tyler and I fuck up, we are going to get zapped.
Taking
And
your watch off.
This
right?
is gonna suck so much.
You should also
essentially-
probably take your headphones off too.
What's
That's
going
actually a good idea.
What's going to happen is we'll set up some rules, and based on how everybody reacts to being tased by this, including me, I will have to test this as well. I need to learn to respect the power that I wield. Not looking forward to it. Nobody is. Well, everybody but me is. And when they fail those rules, I'm going to have to zap them. It's going to be hilarious. And they're bad at hard games.
Yep.
Yes. All right. The time has come.
I already feel bad.
I didn't think that we were going to
Then
do
I'll do
this,
it.
but if Tyler
I gotta
wants
do
it,
it.
if
All right.
Tyler wants it, then that's
It's
what's
like
going to
putting
happen.
my dog down. I got to be the one who does it.
Mind your beer can and get him in the leg.
Yeah, leg for sure. Okay, Tyler.
Just don't look.
Just a quick touch. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Do you no countdown, or you just want to go for it?
Do the countdown, but do it too.
Oh my god. This is gonna
Do the
suck.
countdown,
This
but
is
do it
gonna
at
suck.
7.
This is gonna suck. This is gonna suck. Okay. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
10,
No, just do it.
7, 6.
Oh my. Okay, that wasn't too bad.
I think he released right as it hit.
Yeah, you did it.
I felt
You-
it. I felt it.
You better.
Oh.
No,
Did you?
You better get him
I did
again.
feel it.
Tyler, are you okay with doing it again?
One more. One
I
more.
hesitated. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, that fucking hurts.
Wait.
feels
Let me
good.
see. Let me see.
Oh, don't do it again.
I'm not gonna do it to you.
Ow.
You're just gonna do it
That
to yourself.
burns.
I'm gonna do it myself.
Oh, it's still like.
Since I'm not a part of this, this is the only time you guys will get to see this.
Ooh, it's like a bruise.
Yeah.
It's like it just stays. It's
I don't know if the leg's the right thing. I think maybe the arm, like here, is gonna be meatier.
okay. I think maybe
I have to-
the shock was worse than the pain because it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Fuck.
That hurt.
A little bit. Actually,
It's actually not too bad. On the leg, it's not too bad. I think it was the fright of the. Woo!
yeah, that's jumpy.
All
All right, here you go.
Man.
Dan. I feel like we need to do this
Yeah.
from you next.
Well, so the only
How about
reason-
you save that for the
That's
first
what I'm-
episode?
I feel like we should do it during the show that we're doing.
How
it for.
invigorating.
I
like that.
I agree.
I should
That's
be the
why-
first
all
one to
right.
get tased on camera
All right.
for Get Good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Now-
not trying to avoid being tased because I know we're still recording Get Good.
Yeah. Do you feel better about your stun gun purchase decisions?
I think it'll be okay. I'm very hesitant about putting that on my bare flesh.
Okay.
I feel like we're gonna have to because it'll be kind of more funny that way, but it is a little scary.
No, so maybe I'm not 100% aware of how it's going to work, but does it have a risk of damaging the headphones if you get tased while wearing the headphones?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's
because
more a precautionary measure.
I just didn't want. I just thought of that as.
I mean, especially
let's
considering
not blow the equipment out.
when he zapped himself, he was also holding onto the microphone,
Okay.
and I didn't hear any pop. He stayed fine. So
I think what's going
humans
to
are not great conductors.
I think what's going to make it work, Tyler, is I can still tase you on the pants, and what's going to happen is I just have the rules set in place, but I don't necessarily have to warn you when you're being tased if you break the rules.
All right, that's fair.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
surprise is
I
what's
think
going to
that's
get
fair.
you.
Yeah.
Be dashing, guys.
Always, ABD, always be
get to-
dashing.
My leg is like right now.
It'll get to a point where all he'll have to do is like approach your leg with force and purpose, and you'll jump.
My
like
calf.
he wouldn't even have to have the taser in his hand.
My calf is like clenching right now. I'm not even kidding.
Well, that's what electricity does.
Yeah.
We'll talk more in detail about this, but just so everybody knows, there will be death tasings, and on some of the more difficult games, I'm going to put in a question limit. If you ask me a certain number of
Ooh.
questions that I answer, you get tased when you hit a certain threshold every time.
The answer is 1.
No, I'm going to be a little more merciful than that. But for example, let's say we're playing a Dark Souls game and somebody's lost and doesn't know where to go. They go, "Where do I go?" Well, I'll tell you. That's a tick.
Yeah.
We're going to keep that rolling.
Ow.
But onto the voicemails.
Yeah, so I think because we're running a little long here, we're going to skip rants and raves and dive straight into some voicemails because we have voicemails, guys. And this first one is...
Hey guys, I got a good one for you. What do you call the original Blue Bomber? Dan's sack after getting off to Mega Man fanfiction, or, well, before it anyways. I mean, come on, if we're being real here, the only thing he's really good at with the series is that, the fanfiction stuff. I mean, have you seen that guy play? It's like watching my grandma figure out how to install Mega Man on Microsoft DOS. Could have programmed the sequel to Mighty Number 9 in the amount of time he took poking around the level select screen. Not like Pokemon, man. You don't gotta play rock, paper, scissors and figure out the weakness. You don't need weakness when you get good.
You get-
Have raw talent,
Hey, this
you know?
works for the theme.
Get that gamer XP under your belt. Not like the kind you get from bottles of Mountain Dew or Doritos or some shit. You know what? I'll bet you all my V-Bucks, you never even actually beat Way of Neo. Oh, wait. I don't even have any more V-Bucks left after I totally sweet skin I just bought on Fortnite. That's right. I'm going to 360 no-scope your ass while I totally flex on you with every dance move known to man. Suck on that, Dan.
I'll gladly suck on that. You cannot dance on me in Fortnite, though, because I don't play it. I'm sorry.
That was really good.
That was fantastic.
Finally,
That was fantastic.
finally, someone put Dan in his place.
Yeah, I really got taken down a peg, as you guys can tell. I'm really sad right now.
And of
can
course, we've got a second voicemail.
Oh no.
Hey Ryan, so I'm in a little bit of a pickle right now. So here's what happened. I got the words jacuzzi and yakuza mixed up. Now I'm in hot water with the Japanese mafia.
Oh, it's pronounced yakuza.
By the way, the color sucks. Kidding. Love you guys.
That was good.
Nice.
Thank you for the voicemails. We love getting them, and Dan loves getting taken down a peg.
Yeah, your criticism on my Mega Man X3 playing is completely valid. I can't even fight that one.
Yeah.
But watch my Mega Man X4 playthrough and get schooled.
Yeah.
Well, you did die that one time.
Yeah. Oh no.
If you would like to call and leave us a voicemail, you can do so at 805-222-6287. Call and take Dan down a peg.
Yeah, the floor's always open. If you actually make me cry on the podcast, I'll send you $50.
Really?
Yep.
He forgot the V in that statement.
It has to be emotional crying though. You can't just beat me up, Brooks.
Like it has to be like
Damn.
ugly crying, like snot dripping from his nose and everything like that.
That number again was 805-222-6287. And this podcast is brought to you by Ripped Apparel, who gave me the super sweet shirt of a bunch of classic horror movie villains done up in Mega Man style. If you like their style, they've got a whole bunch of pop culture and nerdy geek shirts.
Yeah, of the pop culture T-shirt biz that I see on like Facebook and stuff advertised. Like theirs are always the ones that I'm kind of like, oh man, I actually want that one.
And what's awesome is they don't just have shirts; they also have canvases. I actually want to get some of their canvases.
You spelled apparel wrong.
Did I? Is that right?
Apparently.
You forgot the E.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
April.
So they also have...
I am in love with this Powerpuff Girls.
I hate most of what I'm seeing right now.
Right here. This is beautiful.
So they...
Black Panther Powerpuff Girls cross. I'm enjoying it.
Have they have daily specials that are like, you know, limited print tees that they do that are only for sale for a day, and then they've got all the kinds of crossover fandom kind of stuff. Like my friends in Wisconsin this week will enjoy this Ice Ice Baby shirt with Sub-Zero rocking some Vanilla Ice style.
This one I like.
I heard it was cold or something.
Yeah, it was quite
Was
cold.
there snow?
No, it was too cold for snow.
Really?
It was, which technically there's no such thing as too cold for snow, but in practice I have never seen it snow when it's negative 46 or negative 64 degrees.
Because it
Snow way.
kind of snows before then, and then it gets worse.
Yeah. So in last week in Madison, it was negative 64 degrees with wind chill.
I'm just going to say that's way worse
Put
than
the flex
120.
in fun polar vortex.
Yeah, and I can't find them right now, but they also have canvases, which I wanted to get some canvases to put up, in the podcast studio.
Canvas.
But lots of really cool stuff.
The world
Check
is my
them
canvas.
out. If I can figure out how to do our referral link, because I'm still figuring that out, I'll put it in the description in the YouTube video and the podcast. And of course, as always, this episode has been brought to you by Humble Bundle. And they've got a couple of sales right now. Right now, they actually have an indie PlayStation sale going on. Unfortunately, it will probably be over by the time this episode comes out. I think that ends in 8 days. So it actually... Yes,
You'll have a day.
You'll
have
a day.
one day, and then on that day.
And it's Grim Fandango Remastered, The Bard's
Amazing.
Tale, Inner
Also
Space,
amazing.
Layers of Fear, Wasteland 2, The Talos Principle,
Amazing.
Broken Age, Killing Floor 2, and Shadow Warrior 2.
That's a good...
all for PlayStation
Shadow
4,
Warrior.
and a pay-what-you-want bundle.
That is an amazing Humble Bundle.
Play the
I'm
Talos
enjoying
Principle if you haven't played it.
The
Yeah, I
Talos
heard that
Principle
was
really good.
Awesome.
Wait, that's cool.
And it's weirdly done by the Serious Sam guys, which
Yep.
is I was not expecting, but very, very good puzzling.
Time to
Bard's
get
Tale is
serious.
really fun too and hilarious. I know it's old as dirt at this point, but
I ended up getting that in a grab bag I bought. I can't remember what site, and it ended up being not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Bard's Tale.
Yeah, I didn't have any nostalgic memories. Oh hell yeah, Earth Defense Force.
And
Tight!
Yes.
Early-
Oh, you like Earth Defense Force too?
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
the early unlocks for Humble Monthly Bundle are Earth Defense Force, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Collector's Edition, and Cultist Simulator. And that is just $12 a month, and there are at least 6 more games coming on the first Friday of February. So never mind, that's going to be too late then.
This is worth it alone just for Vermintide 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
That game is so awesome.
And Earth Defense.
More like
Unfortunately,
Warhammer, am I right?
Unfortunately,
Have you
if
played
you're
Earth Defense
listening to
Force?
this, you missed these 3 because
But it's your fault for
it
not
unlocks
looking.
this coming Friday. So
Buy Vermintide 2 anyway, guys. It's cool. It's rad.
Play some EDF.
EDF is just so ridiculous. Another one of those games where the back of your brain's just like, no, this is a horrible game, but you just keep playing it.
It's basically an Atomic Age monster movie extra simulator.
okay, cool.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah, you get to like blow up ants and giant spiders and stuff.
I look forward to getting to play it on Friday.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to about do it for the episode 21. Everyone, I hope everyone enjoyed their past Super Bowl festivities if they chose to partake, and were sufficiently mad at Stella Artois for taking advantage of property that we all love.
Have a good rest of your week.
See you next week.
Luke, it says I'm locked out of my account
That
again.
really fucking hurt.
Yeah, let me tell you something, brother. You load the podcast with the rocket fuel, and you start the Mega Powers, and you hit that subscribe button. Ooh, I'm not gonna rip my shirt because it's the only one I have right now. Subscribe.